The ocean, vast and unfathomable, has long been the setting for some of the most eerie and baffling mysteries in human history. From ghost ships drifting aimlessly to entire vessels vanishing without a trace, the sea has claimed its secrets and refuses to give them up. Today, we're diving into the top 10 most chilling mysteries of the sea. Get ready for tales of unexplained disappearances, ghostly apparitions, and haunting phenomena that have perplexed sailors for centuries. #10. The Mary Celeste. A ghost ship frozen in time in 1872. The Mary Celeste was discovered adrift in the Atlantic Ocean, completely intact, with no crew on board. The ship's cargo alcohol barrels was virtually untouched. The crew's personal belongings remained neatly in place, and there was no sign of violence or struggle. Even the ship's lifeboat was missing, suggesting the crew may have left voluntarily, but why? The last logbook entry gave no indication of distress. Captain Benjamin Briggs was an experienced sailor, and his wife and young daughter were among those on board. So what could drive an entire crew to abandon a seaworthy vessel in the middle of the ocean? Theories abound. A sudden waterspout, fear of an alcohol explosion due to fumes, seaquake, piracy, mutiny, even alien abduction or paranormal intervention. None have ever been conclusively proven. Despite over 150 years of investigation and speculation, the fate of the Mary Celeste's crew remains one of maritime history's most chilling enigmas. Was it a rational response to a misunderstood threat, or a case of something truly unexplainable lurking at sea? #9. The Flying Dutchman. A cursed ship of the seas. Legend has it that the Flying Dutchman is a ghost ship doomed to roam the oceans for all eternity, never able to make port. First mentioned in the 17th century, the tale tells of a Dutch captain, often identified as Hendrik van der de Conhu, defied a violent storm near the Cape of Good Hope, swearing he would round the Cape even if it took him until doomsday. That defiance supposedly sealed his fate, and the ship was cursed to forever sail the seas as a spectral warning to others. Sailors for generations have claimed to see the eerie glow of the Flying Dutchman's sails in the distance, usually before a storm or disaster. Even members of royal navies, including Prince George of Wales in 1881, reported seeing the ship during a voyage, only for a crew member to die shortly after. Over time, the Flying Dutchman has become a symbol of doom at sea, often seen as a harbinger of death or bad luck. Some skeptics argue that it's a result of maritime hallucinations or mirages, like the optical phenomenon known as a fata morgana. Others swear it's a real ghost ship, trapped between worlds. But whether it's legend, superstition, or a cursed soul forever wandering the waves, one thing is certain: the Flying Dutchman remains one of the CS most iconic and spine-chilling mysteries. #8. The USS Cyclops. A vanishing act that defies explanation. In March 1918, the USS Cyclops, a 540-foot-long U.S. Navy collier, disappeared without a trace while sailing from Barbados to Baltimore. On board were over 300 crew and passengers, along with more than 10,000 tons of manganese used in steelmaking during World War I. The ship sent no distress signal. It never reached its destination. It simply vanished. What makes the Cyclops' disappearance even more mysterious is that the sea was calm, and the vessel was considered seaworthy. Despite extensive search efforts by the Navy, no wreckage, oil slick, or lifeboats were ever found. It remains the single largest non-combat loss of life in U.S. Navy history. Some historians point to structural issues. The ship may have been overloaded and its design flawed. Others suggest sabotage or a German U-boat attack, though no evidence has ever supported these claims. And then there's the Bermuda Triangle theory. The Cyclops was traveling through this infamous region when it vanished, adding a chilling layer of legend to the case. To this day, no one knows what happened to the Cyclops. It's as if the ship and everyone on it were swallowed whole by the sea, leaving behind only questions and one of the greatest unsolved maritime mysteries of the 20th century. #7. The ghost ship of the Ria de Arousa. In 1921, the Olivier, a French merchant vessel, was found eerily drifting off the coast of Galicia, Spain, in the Asturian waters of the Ria de Arousa. The ship had gone missing days earlier without any distress calls, and when it was finally spotted, there wasn't a single soul aboard. The vessel appeared structurally sound, its cargo untouched, and its navigation systems still functional. Most haunting of all, the crew's personal items were exactly where they had left them, and the captain's log indicated that everything was proceeding normally, until the entries stopped without warning. Authorities boarded the ship expecting answers, but found none. No signs of violence, no damage to suggest a storm or attack, and no lifeboats missing. The crew had simply vanished. Rumors quickly spread among the local fishing communities, some whispering of a ghostly fog that swallowed the Olivier, others swearing it was cursed from the start. What deepened the mystery was that this was indeed the first case of a ghost ship in the region. The Ria de Arauza has long been tied to maritime folklore. Sailors have reported phantom ships, strange lights on the water, and sudden shifts in weather that locals attribute to supernatural forces. Despite investigations by both Spanish and French authorities, the case of the Olivier remains unsolved. Was it mass hallucination, mutiny gone wrong? Or did the crew fall victim to something darker, something tied to the legends that haunt these waters? Number 6. The SS Orang Medan, a terrifying SOS in a ship full of corpses. In the late 1940s, a chilling distress signal was picked up by several ships sailing through the Strait of Malacca. The message was from a Dutch freighter, the SS Orang Medan, and it simply read, "All officers, including the captain, are dead. Lying in chart room and bridge, possibly whole crew dead." A moment later, a final fragment, "I die." Then silence. When a rescue team boarded the ship, what they found defied logic. The entire crew was dead bodies scattered across the deck with faces frozen in terror, arms outstretched as if fending off something unseen. Even the ship's dog was found dead mid-snarl. There were no signs of wounds, no traces of struggle. Just the overwhelming sense that something unspeakable had happened. Before any investigation could be completed, a fire broke out in the cargo hold, forcing the rescuers to flee. Moments later, the Orang Medan exploded and sank beneath the waves, taking its secrets with it. Theories ranged from hazardous chemicals leaking in the hold, to carbon monoxide poisoning, to paranormal or even extraterrestrial activity. But with the ship's records allegedly erased or sealed, any question whether the Orang Medan ever existed at all, or if the story itself is a smokescreen for something governments don't want us to know. Is this simply a sailor-esque tall tale stretched over time? More the cover-up of one of the most terrifying maritime encounters in history? Number 5. The ghost ship of the Arctic, the Belvedere. In 1959, the Belvedere, a Norwegian cargo vessel, was discovered eerily drifting in the freezing waters off the coast of Greenland. An icebreaker ship spotted the vessel locked in sea, ice-silent, seemingly deserted, and hauntingly intact. When a boarding crew made their way aboard, they expected to find a crew in need of rescue. What they found instead was a maritime enigma. The Belvedere showed no signs of damage. Crew's belongings were neatly arranged in their quarters, meals half-eaten in the galley, and the engine had long since gone cold. But there was no trace none whatsoever of the men who'd been sailing her. Most disturbing of all, the ship's radio equipment was still operational, and was emitting an open signal, as if waiting for a message that never came. No distress call had ever been received. Norwegian authorities launched an investigation, combing through logbooks, supply records, and weather data. But the case led nowhere. The last log entry gave no indication of trouble, and there was no sign of foul play. The vast Arctic silence swallowed any clue that might have explained what happened. Over the decades, the Belvedere has become the subject of ghost stories among Arctic fishermen and explorers. Some speculate the crew was lost to exposure after abandoning ship in a whiteout. Others whisper of supernatural interference, an ancient curse, or something hidden deep beneath the ice that called to the men and led them to their doom. No evidence ever surfaced, no bodies were found. The Belvedere remains a frozen riddle, a ghost ship frozen in time, forever adrift in the desolate silence of the North. Number 4. The Kaz II, Australia's modern-day Mary Celeste. In 2007, the Kaz II, a 12-meter catamaran, was found drifting off the coast of Australia's Great Barrier Reef. The yacht appeared to be in perfect condition, engine running, food set on the table, laptops open, even a cup of coffee still warm. But the three-man crew, gone, vanished without a trace. When rescue teams boarded the vessel, they found no signs of struggle or foul play. Life jackets were still on board, the emergency beacon hadn't been activated, The GPS showed the boat had continued along its course without interruption. The last log entry gave no hint of distress. The crew, Eric Batten and brothers Peter and James Tunstead, were all experienced sailors on what was meant to be a casual voyage along the coast. They'd only set out 3 days earlier. Yet something happened in broad daylight that caused all 3 men to disappear simultaneously. Initial theories ranged from man-overboard accidents to freak weather or even piracy, but nothing ever added up. If one man fell in, why would the others abandon ship without using the radio or safety gear? And why would a functioning vessel with no signs of damage be left completely unmanned? Australian authorities officially closed the case, citing a series of unfortunate events, but many remain unconvinced. The Kaz II has since earned the nickname Australia's Mary Celeste, a modern mystery as eerie and unsolved as the original ghost ship that drifted centuries earlier. What really happened aboard the Kaz II? Tragic accident or a modern maritime enigma that defies logic? Number 3. The disappearance of Flight 19, a tragic mystery in the Bermuda Triangle. Flight 19, a squadron of 5 U.S. Navy bombers, disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle in 1945. The pilots reported strange malfunctions and navigational errors before losing contact. A massive search operation was launched, but no wreckage was found, and the aircraft were presumed lost. Even more eerie, a rescue plane sent to search for Flight 19 also vanished, leaving no trace behind. Is the Bermuda Triangle truly a place of unexplained phenomena, or is there a rational explanation for the mysterious disappearances that have occurred there? Number 2. The Mary Celeste of the Mediterranean. The Cita d'Ado. In the Mediterranean, the Cita d'Au, a cargo vessel, was found abandoned with no signs of the crew. Like the Mary Celeste, the ship's cargo was intact, but the crew had mysteriously disappeared. The ship's last communication, a distress signal, was strange, claiming that there was something wrong with the crew, but it was cut off abruptly. What happened to the crew? Was it a tragic accident, or did they encounter something they couldn't explain? Number 1. The most mysterious ship, the lost ship of the Antarctic, the Endurance. In 1915, Sir Ernest Shackleton's ship, the Endurance, was trapped in the ice of the Antarctic. Shackleton and his crew were forced to abandon ship, and despite several attempts, no one has ever been able to locate the wreckage of the Endurance. Its disappearance and the subsequent survival story of the crew remain one of the greatest mysteries in maritime history. How did a ship so well known for its tragic fate simply disappear without leaving a trace? From ghostly vessels drifting with no one aboard, to entire crews vanishing without explanation, the mysteries of the sea continue to baffle and intrigue us. These chilling stories have captivated the imaginations of sailors, adventurers, and conspiracy theorists for generations. But the truth remains as elusive as the vast ocean itself. What happened to these ships? Are they the result of supernatural forces, or is there a more grounded explanation lurking beneath the waves? The mysteries of the sea might never be fully solved, but the legends will live on forever.